I watch a new film every other day. Follow along for recommendations and reviews. Today, I watched the movie Good Girl, Bad Boy on Love Story Media. Now, Love Story Media, I was waiting for their next film because the last thing I watched from them was Unbound, a short film that really touched me. I did a whole video about it. I loved that film. So when I first saw GGBB announced by Stan on Love, I was like, oh, I'm ready, I'm ready. And then I saw the title Good Girl, Bad Boy, and I said, oh, that's a classic trope. I can't wait to see how they're going to circumvent this. Like, a classic trope, very tired trope. What new thing are they going to say about this? And then the film starts playing. This is the non spoiler section. The film starts playing, and I'm like, ah, ah, this film is really about a good girl, bad boy. And it keeps playing, and I'm like, wait a minute. Is this film really just another cliche story of a good girl, bad boy? That is, they're not even trying to circumvent the trope. They're not even trying to say, let me add something new to this narrative. The premise of the film is that there is a good girl, a prayerful girl. There's a bad boy, a player, who refers to himself, even in this film, as a player. Players like me. Very heavy-handed film, even from the name, good girl, bad boy. Very heavy-handed with the narrative. Then the bad boy makes a bet with his friend that he's gonna, sleep with the girl, the good girl, and then the film kind of goes from there. Have you not seen this film like a million times? And when I was watching it, I was like, okay, no, surely they are going to like turn it on its head. They are going to do something new, something fresh with it. This is such a classic trope, the classic, we've seen this film before. When I tell you that this film, without giving spoilers, the film is exactly as it plays exactly how you would think. The good is that the acting is very natural. The locations that they chose, beautiful locations. The colors of the film, sweet colors, nice. The film is also a faith-based film. So I feel like sometimes faith-based films, sometimes it's very hard to critique them. Not like I want, because I'm critiquing the narrative here. I'm critiquing the problems of the film. But I mean that sometimes I know people will really be like, how dare you say anything bad about this film? Because it's like preaching. But that's how I feel about it. It's like preaching. You can go to a sermon and the preacher has said good things. They've dropped some nuggets. But as a whole, the preaching not really sweet that day. Today's preaching no really follow. That's what I'm talking about. That this film does have some nuggets in it. So some people will really come at me and be saying, "Oh, but the film had such a strong message." It had some elements of that, but I'm talking about the narrative as a whole. I had severe problems with. And if you have watched this film, we're going to start talking about it now with spoilers. If you have not, you can go and watch it, and they can come and join us for spoilers. So those of us that have watched it now, spoilers ahead. Let us go so we can dissect this film well. Spoilers ahead, let's go. The biggest problem that I had with this film is that for a film called Good Girl, Bad Boy, the big part of it is that the character of Charles, played by John Ekanem, is supposed to be this bad boy that's not supposed to, like, he does this thing. He sleeps with this girl after being the bet. Her name is Kemi. And then he's supposed to now feel guilty, and that is what leads him to Christ. Excuse me. When I tell you that the night and day of that boy's transformation, this is what I can explain it to you like. And tell me if you agree or not. I feel like the film had a character up until that moment that they sleep together. This character is a bad boy. Clear bad boy. This man is over 30, by the way. Like, this is not like a spring chicken. This now, you cannot teach old dog new tricks. And this man now, like, old layer at this point in his ways. This man has been a player. Like, we see how the opening scene is. We see how he is. You're telling me that, like, even before he gets to doing what he's doing this with open eyes. You now finally do it. When she wakes up and I see that post-it note that says, I'm sorry, I'm like, when did this man immediately grow a conscience? After that, I mean, you've watched a film. After like what, two scenes or like the next scene, a guy's already in his room, like, God, I ask for forgiveness. I say, where did this transformation come from? A man that all his life, he even tells his friend, I've never been convicted all my life. And then, what about this thing convicted you? Do you know how I thought this film was going to play if I was the one to give any sort of notes? I thought that they would circumvent the good girl, bad boy trope. I thought that how it was going to go was that maybe she's a good girl, it's a bad boy, all the things that we've set up, even the bet thing that is so played out and tired. Okay, we finally do that one. But I thought that maybe it's now be like she actually hears about the bet and she's like, oh, this boy is saying one, can't use me. I go lead them to Christ. And then every time he's trying to play his games or her, trying to do all his spraying of perfume coming along, she'll be like, come and meet me at Bible study. Come and meet me in church. Come and meet me in this one. So that in that way, she's now like putting him in places that he can actually be transformed by the word. And in that way, we can now see how the bad boy is transformed by her actions. While he's thinking he's trying to like win this bet on her, she's actually using him and this is bet to lead him to Christ. And then in that way, you've kind of circumvented the trope. You've given us something new. But the way that they do it here is so the way she finds out about the birth, just overhearing as per usual. The film, they were dragging scenes, man. Like even that scene of Sonia Uche crying, and then they were cutting to him in his room. That scene was so long. They were dragging scenes. This film ended up being 1 hour 58 minutes. And what was the actual story? Like, let's really think about it. How many scenes they inside this film? Let's count the scenes. And what is the narrative for it to be 2 hours essentially? Ah, no, they dragged it. At the end, when they now have the scene with the women and they're all preaching and, like exchanging messages, I'm like, okay, I think they are trying to now end it on this point so that you can now come out and be like, okay, at least you have that message. But a message can be passed, a message can be good. But the whole narrative, if you look, you don't miss the forest for the trees and you zoom out and you say the film as a whole, was this narrative good? I don't think so. I think this could have been done a lot better. I think that the writer could have done the transformation of the bad boy a lot better so that when he goes from bad boy to good boy, we can really see it. Because guilt does not turn somebody into a Christian overnight. A 30 plus something. If that was the case, if not only guilt would turn people to Christian, eh, something else usually happens. You can be guilty about something and still not be a Bible believing Christian. And the way they kind of do it in this film, that like he just feels bad about what he does. Again, only after he does it, because he's entering this thing with open eyes. And then after he does it, suddenly it's like the writer said, okay, this is the part of the film, is the middle, so he needs to become a good boy now. And he just starts changing it. It's like you can tell sometimes when a writer is forcing a character into something, the writer is already doing that the boy is going to now be good. But is the reality of this character that has been presented to us in this narrative? Is this how this character will naturally behave? Is this who we have been presented? Is this a natural story arc, character arc for this character's transformation from bad to good? I do not think so at all. And that is my biggest problem with the film called Good Girl, Bad Boy. And then at the end, the post-credit scene says she don't come get belle. I was just like, this film, which kind of cliche fest is this? What is going on? Ultimately, as you can tell, I enjoyed the production, the lighting, the acting, the colors. Those were nice. But as far as the narrative arc, I feel like this could have been a lot better. A lot better. A lot better. And that is my final thoughts about this film. If you have watched this film, I'm very, very curious to know what you think about it in the comments. So please let me know. Also, if you have watched this whole video and you don't know who I am, my name is VDK. I'm the curator of the VDK Film Club, where every other day we watch something new. Come along with us. We are watching fun things. Join us. All right. Until the next film that I watch and the next video that I make, have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.